In this video, we're going to be looking at the third type of chain that we discussed in this section, which is the conversational chain. And as the name implies, these are chains that can hold a conversation. They can hold a conversation because they're a combination of your LLM and a memory model. And using this memory model, they can save your conversation history and be able to respond with knowledge of what you've discussed previously. Now, what better way to make this fun than to build a simple chat application? So we're going to be building a simple chat application in this demo, and it's going to be a command line chat application. So let's create a file for this project. That'll be 04 conversational chain.go. Chain.go, and create our conversational chains demo function, and let us call it here as our exercise for the video 0404. Good. Now we can get started with our demo. Like I said, we're going to be building a command line chat application. So let us get right into that. The first thing we're going to do, as with every video, is create a context. Say context.background. And also our LLM. Still be using OpenAI. .new. And the model we're going to be using for this demo is going to be GPT-4. With model GPT-4. So we have our LLM locked and loaded. The next thing we're going to be creating is our memory model. And luckily for us, LangChainGo comes with a memory model that we can use in memory. Yeah, no pun intended, in memory. So we can create a buffer memory. By the way, LangChainGo has an entire suite of memory systems that you can even connect to your favorite storage systems. But for now, we're just going to be using the memory model and calling the new conversation buffer to just create a memory system in memory. So create new conversation buffer, and now we have our LLM and we have our memory. We can simply create our conversation chain. So I'm going to say conversation chain equals. Then from our chains package, we're going to call new conversation. New conversation. I wonder why they didn't call it new conversation chain or new conversational chain, but yeah, it's fine. And with this, we're just going to pass our two components, which is the LLM and the buffer memory. So that's good. And yeah, simple and straightforward. The simplest chain ever. Not really, LLM chains are probably easier, but without having to create prompt templates, this looks like fewer lines of code. Anyway, we have our conversation chain, and now it is ready to receive prompts, and we can chat with it step by step. But it's not going to be fun sending out coded prompts. Let us build a chat system in our console. Now to do that, first we need to be able to read from our console. So I'm going to create a reader using the buff.io package. I'm just going to say new reader. And I'm going to pass in standard in, which is our console, from the OS package. So create a new reader. Then in order to have our session active, I'm going to create a for loop that doesn't exit. So we actually have to send an interrupt with like Control C to get out of it. So we create our for loop. And inside our for loop, I'm going to make this a bit fun. First, I'm going to print the prompt for the user. Just going to say fmt.print, pass a new line, then I'm going to be using icons. Somebody said the best way to know a vibe coder is to is when you see icons in their code. The icons are fun. I use icons to teach, so I don't care about that. I think there should be another edit. So to emojis, I'm just going to say chat. So let's have this here. That's good for the user. So say that is you. And from there, we can then take the user input. So user input and say error. And we take the reader and read a string from our command line. And we'll read it until we encounter a new line character. So get that in place. User input. Let us quickly check for errors. Say if error is not equal to nil, then let us just log. I'm just going to say printf. Say error reading input. I'm just passing our variable placeholder, new line, and then we can give it the error. So taking care of the error, now what do we do with our user input? First, we're going to trim it of any white space. So I'm going to say user input equal to strings. I've already defined it, so I don't need to use the. So say strings trim space. Yeah, it's trim space. Trim space, and we pass in user input. I'm just going to copy it here. Okay, so we have it all trimmed up. Then we need to also check if it's empty so that we don't have people just typing empty prompts and sending an empty prompt to our model. That's going to cost tokens that are going to serve us in no way. So cfmt dot print line, and just going to put a warning emoji here. Let's see. Warning. Good. And say please enter a message. And we're just going to continue. So we'll just start the session again. Okay. Just going to continue. So the for loop will keep running. Then if it's not empty, we're simply going to simulate the agent's thinking. So first we get the agent's prompt, and yeah, emojis are still going to be awesome. So say robot, yeah, agent, nope, good. fmt.print. Then we're going to say thinking, just to simulate the thinking process. And then we can process the input. So it's a response error. Then we say change dot. Now we're passing in a single input and we're expecting a single output. So we're going to be using run. Change dot run. And then here we can pass our context. Next, we pass our conversation chain. And lastly, we pass our user input. User input. So that's good. Once we have that back, the first thing we want to do is clear the thinking indicator. So let's say clear thinking. And just say fmt print. We introduce the carriage return, and I'm just going to copy this. Agent is responding. So that clears the thinking indicator, and we print the agent prompt. And then first, let us check for errors. Just Golang, we have to check for errors every time. So if it's not equal to nil, let's print something to the user. printf. Let's show them that they did something wrong by introducing the red X emoji, and then we just pass in our variable for the error, the new line, and let us pass the error itself. Oh no. Okay, then we still continue. Continue so that you can just keep typing even if you don't get a response back. Now let us display the agent's output. So print line, and then we can pass response. Now we already had our conversation chain here, and we can call it normally, can execute it with chains.run, but yeah, what's life without a little fun? We're just having fun with it by making it an entire chat application. So yeah, I think that's everything. Let us run it and see the magic of chat. So I'm going to say go run, and please make sure that your API keys are in place. Go run main.go. This 0404 conversation chain. And we are live. We are live. Now we're going to be testing out the memory. We're going to test out the memory. So I'm going to give you my name. I'm going to say I am Fikayo. An AI engineer. I'm Fikayo, an AI engineer. So enter, you say thinking, waiting for a response. And yeah, it says, oh, hello Fikayo, it's a pleasure to meet you. As an AI engineer, you must have a fascinating job. Yeah, I believe so. You're at the forefront of technology, thank you. Designing and implementing machine learning models. I fine-tune them. I don't develop for now. And possibly working on me or AI like me. Interesting. So, favorite part of the job. Now, it's asking me what's my favorite part of the job, but I want to test if it has memory of what I just told it. So, I'm going to say, what is my name? What is my name? Yeah, your name is Fikayo. You see, it can remember me. Awesome. It can remember me. What do I do? Like, what's my job? You're an AI engineer. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, we now have a chain that we can have conversations with. We can have conversations with because it uses a memory model to store our previous conversations, and it is able to send it back to the model with every prompt. Isn't that fun?